Hello, everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Florence. I know I probably haven't introduced myself to you before. I'm a talent acquisition consultant. I'm a career coach and, of course, a DEI strategist. And today I just want to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that I've gotten in the past or recent days now about moving into a project manager position or transitioning or changing your career. So to career changes or career transitioners, that I like to call them out there. You want to move from one industry to another, and you're looking out to how you can tailor your resume into the project management, for instance. To showcase your skill set. And if you've been doing some things in project management, but you haven't been a project manager, this video is for you. So today I'll be using the popularly known ChatGPT to customize the resume. Instead of me creating a resume or showing you some of the resume templates that I have, which I use for my clients, I will be using the ChatGPT by openai.com to customize the resume. So this is what we have here. Like we can see, the project manager resume sample, and here is the response. Of course, we cannot take away this most important thing. But the objective here we can say is to secure a challenging project manager position that allows me to utilize my skills and experience in leading teams to successful project completion. So if you have some project management experience, for instance, you are a recruiter or you're a talent acquisition specialist like I have, and you've gotten yourself involved in some project like the talent, we have a role called talent acquisition project manager, and you're interested in such roles, or an HRIS project manager, or even other project management in, for instance, other tech companies that you're interested in. One of the things that I talk about is discovering your transferrable skills. Your transferrable skills would help you in articulating your value, in articulating your value proposition to the hiring managers. So one of the things that you may need to look into is, first of all, the skill set that you have. And I'm going to highlight okay, I'm going to highlight some of the skill set that we can find in this project manager position, which you would want to use in accessing your skill set. The very first one that we can see here is the word project completion. Is the word project itself. We can see that project is, if I'm to define project to be any work given to you, where you have to plan from start to finish. So we see that the first thing about being a project manager is handling project, which you also have to think and write down if you have worked on some projects, some critical, even some little projects, for instance, you're trying to improve processes, you are involved in improving processes. It's a project that you can also use in articulating. That's a value that you can articulate to hiring managers. The other one that we're looking to now is in the summary, we can see the chat. GPT said experienced project manager with a proven track record of delivering complex projects on time. So that means you have to talk about your time management and within budget. You have to talk about budget management. So you have to look into if you have a time management skills and you have a budget management skills. So those are additional skill set that you need to look into if you're transitioning into a project management role. Now, the other one is strong leadership and communication skills. Of course, leadership skills is very important because in a project management role, you will be coordinating not just projects, but you'll be coordinating people. You have to communicate with people. You have to work cross-functionally. Sometimes you may even have to work cross-organizationally. So your communication skills is also very important. And when we say communication skills, it's not just written. So this will also include oral communication, so spoken communication. How do you communicate processes? How do you communicate timeline? How do you communicate stakeholders? How do you communicate even to your team members? How do you tell them about the project? How do you tell them about the project completion? How do you communicate tasks to them? This is communication skills very important in being a project management. We see the other one is to motivate team. Because you'll be working with a lot of people in a project management role, you have to know how to motivate people. You have to know how to charge people up when they are down. There'll be times when the project is going to get really, really complex. There'll be time where it's going to get difficult. You have to know how to motivate your teams, how to charge them up to continue the journey onto completion. So now we can see project planning, we can see risk management, we can see quality assurance. If you take a certification in PMP, which is project management, um, it will really help you in building and acquiring skills in project planning and risk management, and of course in quality assurance. But even if you haven't, you taking a look into the quality of the project that you have been involved in the past would really help you in determining if you have the skill set required in being a project management, or if you have to go learn the skill set required. So now I'm going to take a look at some of the responsibilities that the chat, some of the expectations. So that will be some of the duties that you may also need to perform being a project management. This is a very generic project management resume sample, but it's something that we can look into that will give you insight into what you're looking at in project management role. So you can see for the first one, it says to plan and manage projects from initiation to completion, ensuring project goals are met within scope, schedule, and budget constraints. We've talked about this when in the summary, highlighting the projects, working on complex projects, making sure that you work on the project from initiation, from start to finish, and also within budget. We can see it here, we can see schedule, we can see scope. You do not want to be handed over a project and you're working outside of the scope. That is definitely zero and shouldn't even happen. So when you're working on a project, you have to first of all yourself understand the scope, and being able to work in within the scope of the project is an important skill set to know as an incoming project manager. So we have the schedule. As a project manager, you also need to learn how to multitask. And most of the roles that we do into this organization, you get to multitask a lot. So that is another skill set that you need to communicate when communicating your value. The second one is to develop project plans, timelines, budget using project management software. I mentioned this earlier that you need to know how to communicate. Now it's telling you that you also need to know how to develop. So you look into what you've done in the past. Look at times that you develop timeline. Look at times that you develop schedules. Look at time that you developed you put together a budget. You put together some plans to work on the project just to help your team. Those are experiences that you need to communicate to hiring managers. I have also mentioned that you'll be working a lot with cross-functional teams. So if you've gotten to work with other team outside your own team members, you also need to communicate this. There's something here that is very important, which is to identify project risk and develop risk mitigation. You need to know how to foresee and evaluate your project very well, because this way, you should be able to stand to tell them after your assessment if this is a doable, if this is risk free, if this is low risk project. So that is why I was recommending that you do some certification if you've never had any projects management experience before, because risk management is very good. For instance, if you studied law, you'll be able to assess some of those risks, or even if you are coming from the financial industry, you'll be able to access risks properly. Project communication is very important because you'll be taking some reporting and also updates that you need to present not just to your managers but also to stakeholders. We can see that this is very much written in this description. Then we have what we call the project deliverables to ensure standard and quality standard and client expectation. That is also very important. So if you've been working like a B2B or B2C and you've been working like client facing roles, being able to handle project or be able to cross over to a project management role will be should be quite easy for you if you're able to articulate your skill set well. I'll jump to the second one, which is the senior project coordinator. From here, we can see coordinated the planning and execution of multiple projects simultaneously. We can see monitor project budgets, schedules, and quality to ensure project success. We can see assistant project managers in identifying and managing project risk. We can see conducted project status meeting and reported progress to stakeholders. I like what the chat GPT did here to show the progression. If you're thinking you are not, you do not have enough qualification to go into project manager, the project coordinator is to start. I will just jump down to the certification which I mentioned earlier, which is the PMP certification in project management. PMP is very good for those who want to venture into project management. I would really recommend it. So the important skill set highlighted: project planning and management, risk management, budgeting and financial management, quality assurance and control, communication and stakeholder management, leadership and team management, and project management software. It even went further to highlight some, which includes the MS Project, Asana, Trello, and a lot more. So if you're looking into going into a project management role and you're wondering where you want to start from, you need to, if you have any question, please do not forget, feel free to ask me, send me a DM, send me a note, a message, or an email. You can also send me a message on LinkedIn. The name is Florence Idowu, Idowu. Thank you for listening. I hope to catch you in my next video. Bye.